Hello everyone. Today we are going to start next unit. We have topics code optimization and code generation in this unit. So far we have discussed many phases of compiler. After the generation of intermediate code, our next phase is code optimization. So what is code optimization? Optimization is a program transformation technique which tries to improve the code by making it consume less resources like CPU, memory, etc. and deliver high speed. Means in optimization we improve our code by making it consume less resources and deliver high speed. So in optimization, high-level general programming constructs are replaced by very efficient low-level programming code. A code optimizing process must follow the three rules given below. First, the output code must not in any way change the meaning of the program. Means meaning of our program will be same after optimization. Second, optimization should increase the speed of the program and if possible the program should demand less number of resources. Third, optimization should itself be fast and should not delay the overall compiling process. Okay. So, for optimization we use many techniques. We categorize it into two categories. First is machine independent optimization and machine dependent optimization. In machine independent optimization, the program transformation improve the target code without taking into consideration any properties of the target machine. So we are not dependent on the machine. But in machine dependent optimization, optimization, we consider register allocation and utilization of special machine instruction sequence. So in this we are considering machine structure. So this is machine dependent optimization. We have various transformation technique. Some transformation technique come under the category of function preserving transformation. In function preserving transformation, there are a number of ways in which a compiler can improve a program without changing the function it computes. We categorize this in common sub-expression elimination, second copy propagation, third dead code elimination, and fourth constant folding. We discuss this one by one. In common sub-expression elimination, an occurrence of an expression E is called a common sub-expression if E was previously computed and the value of variable in E have not changed since the previous computation. So we can avoid recomputing the expression if we can use the previously computed value. As you can see in this example, 4 into I is assigned to T1 and 4 into I is again assigned to T4. So we are computing same value again and again. After the optimization of the code, we will use T1 for the same purpose. We will not again and again calculate the value of 4 into I. So 4 into I is assigned to T1, then a T1 is assigned to T2 and 4 into J is assigned to T3. we are not again using t4 temporary variable here. At the place of t4 we are using t1. In the last statement, t6 is equal to bti plus t5. So we are not using t4 temporary variable. This is common sub-expression elimination. Second is copy propagation. In this, we are assigning pi value to x and then calculating x into r and assigning the value to a. The optimization using copy propagation can be done as follows. Except using x variable, we will use pi direct at the place of x and eliminate the variable x here. This is copy propagation. Third is dead code elimination. A variable is live at a point in a program if its value can be used subsequently. Otherwise, it is dead at that point. A related idea is dead or useless code statement that compute value that never get used, while the programmer is unlikely to introduce any dead code intentionally. It may appear as the result of previous transformation. You can see in this example, we are assigning 0 to I, then we are using condition if I is equal to 1. That is not possible because we are assigning 0 to I, and after that we are not incrementing that variable. So here if statement is dead code because this condition will never get satisfied. So we can remove this dead code from this example. Next is constant folding. We can eliminate both the test and printing from the object code. More generally, deducting at compile time that the value of an expression is a constant and using the constant instead is known as constant folding. For A, we are calculating the value 3.14157 is divided by 2. We can replace this value by the computed value. A is equal to 1.570, thereby eliminating the division operator. So it will consume less time and we will not waste time in the division operator. This is constant folding. This is also a type of code optimization technique. We also have some code optimization technique that come under the category of loop optimization, like code motion, induction variable and strength reduction. Third is loop jamming and loop unrolling. We discuss this by this one by one. First is code motion optimization technique. In code motion, we reduce the evaluation frequency of the expression and bring loop invariant statement out of the loop. As you can see here in this example, in while loop we are using b is equal to x plus y, and this value is not will not change. So we write this code statement b is equal to x plus y outside the loop. So we will not compute value of b again and again. That will save our time. This is code motion. So we write b outside the while loop. Next is induction variable and strength reduction. An induction variable is used in loop for the following kind of assignment: I is equal to I plus constant. Strength reduction means replacing the high strength operator by the low strength. Means if some operator consume more time for calculation, we use some other operator at that place that will consume less time. As you can see in this example, we are using multiplication operator I into 4 and assigning that value to y. So at the place of I, in after optimization we use plus operator t plus 4. So plus operator will consume less time in calculation as compared to star operator. For this we use one another variable y and assign the value of t into y, and uh, uh, at the place of multiplication we use addition operator that will consume less time. This is our one of our code optimization technique. Next is loop jamming. Loop jamming is the combination of two or more loop in a single loop. It reduces the time taken to compile the many number of loop. For example, we are using two loop here. Int I is equal to 0, I less than 5 and I plus plus. In first loop we are calculating the value of a, or in second loop we are calculating the value of b. So we will generate after code optimization we use both statement in a single loop, uh, a and b. For both the statement we use single loop. This is other code optimization technique called loop jamming. Next is loop unrolling. Loop unrolling is a loop transformation technique that help to optimize the execution time of a program. We basically remove or reduce iteration. Loop unrolling increase the programmer speed by eliminating loop control instruction and loop test instruction. So in this code we are printing Pankaj. For this statement we use condition I is equal to 0 to I less than 5. So for loop unrolling we print this statement individually, so we will not consume our time for the calculation of condition again and again. And so after optimization it will consume less time. So this is also a loop optimization technique. All these are our loop optimization techniques. Our next topic is directed acyclic graph. In directed acyclic graph, it is a tool that depicts the structure of basic block that help to see the flow of value following among the basic block and offer optimization too. Directed acyclic graph provide easy transformation on basic block, and for directed acyclic graph we consider some rules like leaf node represent the identifier, name or constant. Interior node represent operator. Interior node also represent the result of expression or the identifier, name where the value are to be stored and assigned. For directed acyclic graph we use three address code. You can see in this example we are using three address code. T0 is equal to a plus b, T1 is equal to T0 plus c, and addition of temporary variable T0 and T1 that is assigned to d. To generate directed acyclic graph for this example, in first statement T0 is equal to a plus b. So we use operand a and b in leaf node and connect this by the node plus, that is our T0. Then T1 is equal to T0 plus c. In T0 we again create a leaf node c and add T0 plus c and assign it to T1, and after that T0 and T1 we connect both temporary variable with plus operator and assign the value to d. This is our directed acyclic graph. So this directed acyclic graph help to see the flow of value following among the basic block and offer optimization. Algorithm for construction of directed acyclic graph. For constructing a directed acyclic graph, we consider input, that is basic block, and output. For the output, each node contain a label. For leaves, the label is an identifier. In the leaf nodes we contain operand, and for intermediate node we use operator. We consider three cases for three address code statement, like x is equal to y, operator z, and x is equal to any operator and y, and third x is equal to y. To construct directed acyclic graph, first we create nodes, leaf nodes, and then in second step these leaf nodes are connected with the intermediate nodes, that is operator. We consider each case. In the first case, y and z are leaf nodes and operator will become intermediate node. In second case, y will become our leaf node, and in third case, y is our leaf node. So for directed acyclic graph, we consider one more example. We have three address code here. S1 is equal to 4 into I. Then 4 and I will become our leaf node, and then connect this leaf node with the star operator. And then S1 and A is again our leaf node, and that is connected to S2. So we perform all these operations step by step. So consider this one by one. In the first statement, 4 into I, that is assigned to S1. So 4 and I are leaf node, and we connect this leaf node with the star. In the second statement, A S1, that is assigned to S2. So A is again our leaf node, and connected this with S1, and the result is assigned to S2. In the third statement, 4 into I is again calculated, and and the value is assigned to S3. This statement is similar as first statement, so we use S3 and S1 for the same leaf nodes. In the statement 4, we create one another part of directed acyclic graph. In the statement 4, we use S4, and we use B S3, and the value is assigned to S4. B and S3, and the value is assigned to S4. So we consider each statement one by one. For the S5, we use star operator on S2 and S4. Then S2 and S4 both are connected with the S5. So for the sixth statement, we use identifier and the S5 statement, and both statements are connected with plus operator, and that value is assigned to S6. After that, for next statement, we are using S7 I plus 1, that is assigned to S7, and in 8th statement, S7 is assigned to I. So we mark S7 and I for the same statement. And in the last statement, we compare I is less than and equal to 20. So S7 and I, we create one another leaf node and compare both the values. This is the way we generate directed acyclic graph. Thank you very much.